Hi, I'm Jackie.
And I'm Andy.
We're from across the board, and this is our Mr. Media Interview.
How much do you need to know about a band beyond the fact that you like their sound? I heard a few tracks from the Canadian group Across the Board, and that was enough for me. Now, they just released a new album, Wild Ones, so I invited them on the show today and figured we could just kind of dive in and learn about them together. Plus, singer Jacqui and bass player and percussionist Andy agreed to perform two songs, Calling from their new album, Wild Ones, and It Shouldn't Be This Hard from 2018's Sonic Boom, so why not? Jacqui and Andy, welcome to Mr. Media.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much.
Delighted to meet you guys, and I gotta say, I always feel guilty introducing a band as Canadian because I don't describe American bands by their nationality. Is it, two questions. One, is that offensive that I did that? And two, is there that much difference between a Canadian and American band these days?
Well, I think most of the big hot musicians in the States are Canadian anyway, so you might as well. Bieber, Drake, it goes on.
All right.
So yeah, I know it's not offensive at all. It's just one of the things that makes us unique as a band, I guess. It's one of our defining things that we come from above the border there. Yeah, we're proud to be Canadian.
Cool. And tell folks about your music. What are you aiming for? How do you want to be perceived? Well,
we started out as a YouTube band, doing YouTube covers, more of a personality kind of band, a bunch of characters. And a lot of our fan base started asking us, what does your music sound like? What does your own music sound like? And we were like, what is our own music?
Right.
So our whole thing is sort of built around the family, that's the band members, the personality of the band as, individual characters, and the music, which is just a collection of our influences, which probably comes from, bands like Fleetwood Mac and Evanescence and Paramore, all kind of mushed together in one. So I suppose for people to understand that we're a rock band, we like to be a bit catchy, kind of pop rocky, I guess, but something that you can sink your teeth into. There's lots of music, lots of layered guitars. I've noticed a lot of music these days is very shy on the musical part. There's just like some beats and a few little synth things, and that's not us. We're layers of layers of layers. If you look at our tracks when we record, there's like 200 tracks there, of individual music.
But with the original music, there's some great lyrics behind the songs and the compilations that the album, how it's come together is like it's sort of like
storytellers,
a story,
We're like storytelling rock and rollers that I guess, we would like people to follow us for our music and just the fact that they can be our friends,
Now, you guys mentioned something there that I did not know, and I'm curious about. You talked about that you originally did like hundreds of YouTube videos of you performing songs. Tell me about that. I've interviewed a lot of bands over the years. I've never heard that.
We have about 600 videos on YouTube right now. I would say about 150 of them are pretty high-level music videos. We have a blog. We've got other series, too. We've got a musical cooking show with 25 episodes. We've got a caravan karaoke show that we do with guests. It's kind of like its own little, it's a true YouTube channel with different things.
The original Across the Board band was us picking a cover weekly and doing a good produced video.
Like a challenge. It was
and
called
we would learn the song. We would learn the song and play it that same day, record it, and do the video as well.
All in one day. Yeah, that was called Pick Up and Play. And we still do that same series.
Yeah.
There's over 100 videos in that series right now. And that's how we started. We started just in doing our own thing on YouTube, and we really weren't interested in performing live. I don't know. It was just our thing. We could do it when we wanted to. And then it just built from there, and we started writing our music, and we started performing locally here in Toronto, where we're from, and it just kind of ballooned from there, and now that's our focus. We found that that's really where we wanted to be. We still do all the same stuff on YouTube, but now we've mixed in this new element.
4 albums original later.
Yeah, since about 2016, we've been producing our own music, and we've been doing live shows and touring across the country, and yeah, it's morphed into that. But it's just another basic arm of what we do as a band.
And how did you guys start developing your own sound? I mean, when you've been covering other bands for a long time, and you did a lot of that, obviously, then you start creating your own music. How does that,
Well, we didn't do it tribute-wise. We would do it in our own way. So that own way is what sort of developed. By doing that and by covering other people's music with our spin then developed. So we sort of figured out that, we were guitar heavy with acoustic background in there, rock band. So all of our covers seemed to have a rock edge to them. And that was kind of our bent. And then when we started writing music, all that kind of stuff came through. The contemporary rock beats against maybe a 60s guitar riff with a layer of acoustic guitar in the background.
In the early days, there was a lot of country influence.
There was a very country rock. They tried to call it roots band.
Yeah, it was very hard to define the genre of our music for a good while.
Yeah, I think we're nestled in there nicely in rock, I would say.
Yeah.
And has one person kind of emerged as the songwriter? Is it a group effort? How does that work?
Jackie's the primary songwriter and melodies and
as we've been writing more and more stuff, more people involved in the band, our producers as well, who are musicians too, have been involved. So this new album, Wild Ones, everybody's been involved in writing. Even our keys player, Marty Heller, who really hadn't brought anything forward until this album, and he really did a good job. We gave us a couple songs, and they're awesome. So we've become more collaborative as the band
collectively has evolved.
Yeah, as the band has evolved.
The past few years.
But in the early days, it was just Jacqui songs, and then we started to make them with our songs, and then people started to feel free, I think, to express themselves and give suggestions, and to the point where
we have a sound that's pretty well established now. Like, you'll know if you hear one of our songs, the tone and style of it.
And lots of harmonies. There are lots of vocal harmonies too, which is something
there's big vocals, big guitars,
Yeah.
Good classic rock sound.
Now, I should point out that Across the Board is more than two people. So let's give them a little attention. Who are we missing here, and what do they play?
So our drummer is Ryan Souza, and he's a multi-instrumentalist. He plays guitars. He's a singer-songwriter as well. He's awesome. Our keys player, Marty Heller, is another multi-instrumentalist. So he plays keys, he plays the pedal steel, he plays guitar, he sings. Now he's a songwriter. We've got two other vocalists in our band who sing backing vocals, Tasha Lorraine and Chazelle Weeks, who also actually sing with the Arkells, who are a big band in Canada. And we've got a guitar player, Ben Healy, who he plays with other bands too, so he kind of comes and goes sometimes, but he's pretty much a staple in our band.
Okay. And you guys are based in Toronto?
Yeah, we are.
What's the difference between? I've spent time in Toronto. I've spent time in Vancouver. I love both places. What is the difference, though, between a band in Toronto and, let's say, all the way across the country in Vancouver? And
Not a huge difference. I think our live music scene in Toronto is much more vibrant than Vancouver. I think you're going to find a lot of other genres in Vancouver that are similar to what you're going to find in Toronto, certainly, as you are in every city. There's probably not a lot of difference, to be honest.
And how did the band start? Does it start with the two of you, or did it start?
Yes. Yeah, it started with the two of us in the office of our house, jamming out some tunes. I'm not even sure what we were playing. Did a Pearl Jam and a bit of Three Dogs Down, something crazy.
Everything.
And we was like, this is fun. Let's record this. Let's put it on a video. And okay, let's put it on YouTube. See what happens. And then just went from there.
And maybe this is a... I'm sorry, Andy, go ahead.
We haven't stopped since.
I know you guys making a living full-time with your music?
No, we don't yet. I wish
I
we
wish
did.
that was the case.
Yeah, not quite yet.
But we have day jobs that we have to attend on a regular basis and pay our taxes like everybody else.
Yeah.
What do you guys do, just out of curiosity?
We work in a hospital. Andy works in a fracture clinic. So he casts people, breaks their sets their broken bones.
Fix broken bones.
Fixes broken bones.
Conservatively.
And I work in and around the hospital too, doing this and that. So we're both kind of hospital rats.
Okay.
That's where we met. We met
All
at
right.
the hospital.
Well, I will hope by the next time I get to Toronto that you're not doing that. But if you are, I will keep that in mind, because I think the last time in Toronto and last time in Vancouver.
Don't get hurt.
Yeah, don't get hurt. That's exactly. It's always good to know. So, is this a good time to point out that you guys are actually married?
Yes, we are. Yeah, we are. We've been married for a while.
I was not sure until right before the interview started, and then they were like, "Well, we're married."
When I punched him, that was how you knew.
That was right. Folks. That's exactly. Well, I said she did that, and I said, thinking this is not the first time you guys met. And Jacqui said, "We're married," and I was like, "Okay, that's how you get away with that kind of stuff." All right. Well, so the first song you guys are going to play is "Calling." From the new album Wild Ones. Do you want to set it up for us? Tell us a little bit about it.
So the whole album Wild Ones kind of presents the idea of being a lone wolf, but understanding that you need a pack behind you. And so Calling is a song that is a ballad, and it's basically about that wolf in all of us that calls out to the moon, just as part of an instinct that we have, that we're tied to the planet and the circadian rhythm of the planet, but we're still independent, and we still feel that, we can do our own thing. We're not only, run by instinct as humans. So that's what this song's about.
Cool. Whenever you're ready.
Hey, so it's called Calling. Sleepless dreaming of the dust and the ashes, fear pushes through the lightning and crashes. She holds him up like the heart of a lion, but his hope won't let her, she keeps trying. Calling, calling, call to the moon. Calling, calling, there's nothing here to hold us down. World explodes before us, who do we see? Live and kicking up and close in the machines. Laughing, crying, all the love has faded. Never trust a soul to be so jaded. Calling, calling, call to the moon. Oh, don't you know I'm calling, calling. There's nothing here to hold us down. Make a family from odds and from ends, and find a brother from wars and amends, and choose your memories, don't lock them away, no. They were never yours to give and to take. Oh, calling, calling, call to the moon. Oh, don't you know I'm calling, calling. There's nothing here to hold us down. Calling, calling, call to the moon. Calling, calling, there's nothing here to hold us down. The acoustic version of that. So you can hear our parrot in the background singing with us.
Yeah, he likes to get in the group.
Yeah, we brought our parrot on because you're wearing a patch on your eye, and we thought it matched.
Well,
that's appropriate.
That was beautiful. Thank you. That was very nice. So, what about? Tell us a little bit about your personal musical background. How did each of you come to be so interested in music that you're pursuing it professionally?
Well, I started playing guitar when I was about 10, and then I was a band geek, so I played oboe, flute, saxophone, drums, Then I picked up violin and cello, all of that.
It's better if you just tell them what instruments you don't.
I don't play trumpet or trombone. I can't play brass. I've tried. It's just that I can't do it. Andy, he's a multi-instrumentalist already too.
Just
he
grow
plays
up playing
guitars. He plays
everywhere.
bass. He's actually a drummer first and foremost, but he plays bass in the band.
Oh, and
he didn't make the cut as a drummer. For the
I
band.
see. That's nice.
Ryan's much better than me.
Jeez. Cut right to the quick there, Jacqui. Okay.
No wasting time.
No, really. Now, either of you have musicians as parents or family members at all?
My mom played mandolin. That's it.
Yeah. My parents were really musically inclined.
My brothers both play. My youngest brother is a producer, and he produced our first album. And he's a crazy guitar player, really good. And he plays drums and he plays piano. My other brother is a singer-songwriter guy. He's a guitar player, classical guitar. So all of us kids, we grew up in a small town, my family, in the middle of nowhere, Canada. And there was really nothing else to do but be an athlete and be a musician. So we just did it all.
Nowhere, Canada. I'm trying to remember where I saw that on the map.
Right in the middle.
Yeah, yeah. There is that big, vast part of Canada that is sort of nowhere, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
Right?
Yeah. I keep trying to convince my wife that since we've fallen in love with Toronto and Vancouver, that maybe we need to kind of explore the interior, but I can't convince her. So.
There's a lot of good places.
Go to Calgary if you do. Go to Calgary. Because then you're in the Rockies. It's beautiful. Yeah, that's where you should go. Calgary, Banff, Jasper, those are.
All right. I'll tell her that you said so. Now, one more question before we go to song 2. How did you guys meet?
At the hospital where we work.
Oh,
I
okay.
walked in one day and I was like, oh, you're kind of cute. And that was that. It was about 12 years ago.
Wow.
Probably about 15
I
years.
don't, well, when I first met you, yeah. But we didn't start dating
Yeah. So, yeah. It's a long while.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
Kind of cute, huh?
Wow.
That's the best he's going to get, huh? He's kind of cute. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, maybe...
Head. You don't know the problem this guy is when his head swells. The sun's coming in here. So the sun's setting in Toronto right now, and we're in the front room of our, in the kitchen actually, of our house, and there's a great big backyard where we do shows in the summertime. We have a gazebo that turns into a stage and a pool back here.
Yeah.
But it's very sunny, so you're going to see this.
Our house is set up to do a lot.
Yeah, we've got our own studio downstairs,
Wow.
a photo studio upstairs, a music studio downstairs, and then the backyard is kind of
Almost a one-stop shop.
And we've got a
For
man cave
musicians.
where he spends all of his time, even in the dead of winter.
You have to have your man cave, right?
Oh, absolutely. I'm talking to you from it. People can't see it, but
Right?
You're in your man
I'm just gonna say you're in your man cave, right?
I definitely am. Yeah, for sure. Now, do people that you work with know about your music, and or is that
Yeah, they're some of our biggest fans. They come out to our shows, and we always put posters up all over the hospital. And yeah, they're all very supportive, super supportive.
Cool.
And we like giving back to as well. We give back to the hospital. We want to do.
Oh yeah, we do charity stuff, and Marty Heller, our keys player, is actually an orthopedic surgeon at our same hospital.
Oh, how handy. Well,
Yeah, very handy.
so to speak. Sorry. Wow, I didn't do that intentionally. This is probably.
So I would say he's kind of hippie.
It's kind of hippie. Okay. All right. This is probably a good time to move on to the second song you're going to perform.
Sure.
This is It Shouldn't Be This Hard from Sonic Boom. And again, what do we need to know about this song?
So this song I wrote when I was procrastinating my taxes. I was upstairs in the bedroom with these receipts all over me, and Andy yelling at me from downstairs to hurry up and finish mine so we could do his. And I was like, oh, it shouldn't be this hard. And then I grabbed my guitar and wrote the song. And unfortunately, the song wrote itself in about 10 minutes, which wasn't enough time.
Less than that.
Of procrastination that I was looking for.
The song was about 4 minutes. It was done.
I'm like, oh. So it's called It Shouldn't Be This Hard. You ready? And Andy's going to play a
I'll play
cajon,
alcohol.
which is a box you sit on that is a whole drum kit in a box.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
You want to just show him that? Show him. That's a cajon.
It's a cajon.
Oh, wow.
Here's a snare,
There's that little hole in the back.
and down here is the bass.
Very cool. I learned something new.
So, let's go. Oh no, just a second. That's your aunt calling, or your mom maybe. Oh, sorry, I thought I had to turn up.
That's all right.
Maybe do that again. Oh no. Okay. If she does it again, I will just push decline and keep playing. Okay?
All right.
No, you can't. That's gonna wreck
I'm
the.
gonna answer her.
Okay. Well, should we do the prelude? Should we do it again?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. You want us to talk again before we start
No,
the song?
This is the best part. Are you kidding? No, keep going.
I'm not editing it.
Okay.
I told you many times the price to pay for comfort was corrupt. I showed you all the ways to realize daydream was enough. You're pushing off the aftershock, empathy and disregard. Oh, should it be this hard? Oh, 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 should it be this hard? Whoa, whoa, it told you from the start. Why'd you take the time to open up my mind? Whoa, whoa, should it be this hard? You never wanted me to tell you about the way I pass my day. You never noticed when I struggle, when I cry, when I'm dismayed. You never stopped to analyze or verify or take account. You never wanted me to monitor the shooting I used to sign. Whoa, 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 shouldn't be this hard. Whoa, whoa, it told you from the start. Why'd you take the time to open up my mind? Whoa, whoa, shouldn't be this hard. No, it shouldn't be this hard. It told you from the start. No, it shouldn't be this hard. Oh, oh. And
All
nobody
right.
called.
Nobody called. So here's what I need to know. So can you officially now deduct your home expenses because you wrote a song about doing your taxes?
I might be able to do that. I haven't done that.
That's a good angle.
If I wasn't still procrastinating my taxes, I might know.
What? Well, of course, the American version is the IRS, the Internal Revenue Service. What is it in Canada?
The CRA, Canadian Revenue Agency,
Okay. Well,
or Revenue Canada, as it used to be called, or we still call it that.
I will vouch for you guys now that
Thank you.
you've created the song. You can use this video as a write-off in the future.
Awesome.
I
guess. All right. So before we wind up, tell me a little bit about the new album, Wild Ones, and is it different?
There's the new shirt.
There's the
Oh, cool.
cover
All right.
of the new album.
Very
It's
nice.
a wolf with the moon and the stars.
All right.
So the new album is a collection of songs. The other album, Sonic Boom, we wrote as a rock opera. This album we wrote as a collection of songs that are about two things: the internal struggle of being independent and the external sort of struggle of having chaos on top of you. So there's a couple of songs about storm and eye of the storm, where you're looking for the peace amongst the chaos. And then a number of songs that are about the wolf in all of us, such as Calling, such as the title track Wild Ones. It's a really heavy rock album in the sense of just layers and layers of guitars and awesome rock beats. But it's got several sort of ballady songs on it, which make it a little bit different than our last album, which was for the most part upbeat for all of the songs, really, except for one. This album has 2 or 3 songs on it that are a bit more laid back and a bit more pensive, and I think it's a nice listen. You know, you can just kind of plug in your earphones and just kind of close your eyes and listen to the whole thing. The guys who produced it, MC2 Music Media, put some really cool sound effects of storms in there, and the girls who sang with me have got some wolf howls and really cool stuff that you don't usually hear in a rock album, in a rock song. So I think people might be interested just because it's so different. But the whole idea was just to portray that inner wolf with the outer struggle and finding peace somewhere amongst all the chaos.
And will you guys be playing out a lot to promote the new album? How will that go?
Yeah, so we're working on tours right now. We're going to probably do, like we did last summer, a bunch of little acoustic tours in and around Ontario. We're doing a lot of online stuff this time, such as this interview with you. We're going to be doing a lot of that kind of thing where we're going to be doing some live performances that we can, reach out. We're going to be doing a lot of music videos this time and live off the floor and acoustic versions, just to sort of, connect again on a different level with more people than just the people that are in and around Toronto. We're excited about trying to get across country again with it, so we're hoping that, in the fall we're going to be going out, taking it out to Vancouver again.
We'd love to break into the States.
And hopefully come down you guys' way at some point, which is not as easy as it sounds, actually. It's quite tough for us. There's a whole bunch of legalities. But it's great because our Canadian Music Foundation is part of the American Music Foundation, and they're working together to help artists like us be able to play gigs in the States. So we're excited.
Don't miss out on Calgary. I hear it's the bomb. Oh, and by the way, if you do get into the States, don't use the term the bomb.
No, exactly.
Clearly not.
Yeah, it's not a good time for humor here. All right. Well, folks, listen, you can find Across the Board's latest album, Wild Ones, in great stores everywhere, I presume, or you can order and download it right now at a great price at MrMedia.com. If you are watching the video on MrMedia.com, you will see the album cover below the video. Click on it. It'll take you to Amazon. You can order it there. Or if you're watching on YouTube, just below the video, you'll see a little descriptive matter about the show and the band. There's a link there you can click on, and you can order the music there from Wild Ones by Across the Board. Do you guys want to give out your website? Are you on social media? How can people find you?
Yeah, we're everywhere. So our website is acrosstheboardmusic.ca, which is a Canadian website. All of our social media stuff is on there. You can find it. We're on Instagram at Across the Board Band. And Andy and I both have our separate Instagrams as well. Andy's .across the board, Jacqui .across the board. And then you can find our YouTube channel at youtube.com/ATB Music Canada, which is also our Twitter handle. Is that everything? Facebook.
We're up on all the platforms.
Productions.
It's not hard to find.
Seriously, if you Google Across the Board Band, because we're the only Across the Board band on the planet, thank God, which is weird. We have pages and pages of stuff. You'll be able to find us.
Awesome.
Spotify, iTunes, all that.
Yeah.
No, I'm looking forward to, now that I know about it, I'm going to go look up some of those cover videos from the past.
Yeah, go look up the playlist Pick Up and Play on our YouTube channel, and you'll see them all.
Very good. Well, Jacqui and Andy of Across the Board, first of all, thank you for your patience in getting started today.
And
it was great to have you play, and good luck with the new album, and thanks for joining us on Mr. Media today.
thank you so much for having us.
Stereo receiver, turn to believe her. A bad idea to believe her. Turn up the stereo receiver. Turn up the stereo receiver.